Head coach Ivan Vukomanovic with Bryce Miranda. The floor is open for question. First, you have begin with the player, then to the coach.
Hi coach, hi Bryce.
Hello.
Bryce, this is your first season in Kerala Blasters and in the ISL. How do you rate your season so far? How do you perceive it?
Yeah, it's my first season in the ISL and with also Kerala Blasters. Like when I joined the club at the start, like for 1.5 months, I was feeling under pressure. But as time passed and like with every training session, I just improved day by day.
You have now started 2 games, the last 2 games for Kerala Blasters. Do you think you are ahead of Sahil in the pecking order right now? What is it?
No, I have a lot of respect for Sal, but I'm not the one like to choose if he's ahead of me or I am. But I know I have to compete with such a player, like who's one of the best player in India. So it's a privilege to compete against him.
Coach, just a question on the last match. It was a pretty underwhelming performance. And you have spoken about how there was a viral fever in the camp. Do you put down that as a reason for the underwhelming performance? How do you see it?
No, not at all. It was a disappointment performance in a way that there was a big chance that you can make the situation more easier, and that we failed to do it. So I was expecting more, let's say, kind of motivation and grit out, will to win that game. And in any game in the world where you're playing against the opponent, whoever shows bigger motivation to win that game, and the team wins. So, and I was disappointed in like not showing more motivation than our opponents in Calcutta last game, and that was kind of disappointing because we are still the team like sitting on the third spot on the table, playing as the teams from that position. With all due respect, so, and we were talking even in the dressing room in previous days, like if you are in that position, you must show that part of motivation and discipline more than your opponent in order to stay there, to be there. So, and it goes with it comes with the mentality, with character, winning mentality. Like despite the moment of the season, opponent, you have to show that kind of mentality every game, whether you're playing home or away games. You have to show that if you want to be top. That was my explanation. So fever, no fever, it's like nothing. Virus, whatever last year we were calling that COVID, this year we call it that virus, so whatever it is, you go with it, you get some pills and you go with it. So a couple of days and you're back to the pitch, so no problem.
Coach, in your coach's corner video yesterday, you said a thing about players getting haircuts, tattoos, and that's only the side thing of being a footballer. And to add to that, your players often tend to get into scuffles during the match. But they sort of don't, like against East Bengal, they don't show that same hunger to get into duels and all this. Do you think your players have their priorities set right, and how do you see it?
Well, we will not say about players of Kerala Blasters only. You can see it worldwide, in every country all around the world, because many things today are available on internet. Like with 2 clicks you can see many things around the world. Maybe I'm the person coming still from, let's say, old school education, football education, where actually, first of all, you must prove yourself on the pitch with the correct things that you need to do as a football player. You have to prove your values as a football player. So what's your job on the pitch? Like, do your job, fight with your teammates, fight for the points, fight for the team, and play the football, play the ball. After that, there are many other things apart from a football game. Then we talk about image, we talk about many other external aspects that we can see worldwide. So I'll give you an example. There are many European big clubs, let's say in Europe, where actually the young boys, they are not allowed to wear any other shoe colors than black color, till the age of 18 or till the age they become professional. There is no possibility that you can go enter the club with a cap or I don't know. This kind of education, maybe it comes from the old school, but as a football player in your life, you have to understand which are the priorities. what's your job? Doing the job on the pitch, winning the games, playing the football, because there are so many players around the world. It's a cruel job. It's a cruel job. If you are lucky enough in your football career, you get one chance. You fight for that, you get one chance. Maybe if you are lucky enough, you get maybe one second chance. And it goes. It's like a machine, going through. It just takes you in, you just melt you, spit you down. And then the football career goes so quickly. If you are lucky enough that you start your professional career early enough, and then you can have maybe 10, 15 years, you have to work hard. You have to fight every year for a spot. I can talk to you about personal experiences as a foreign player in one country where actually they literally explain you that you have to be better than your concurrents, than your teammates and opponents every single training session, every game. Otherwise, you're gone. Or remember my first abroad experience, arriving in France, and just like understanding and telling me in a club like, look, if you don't learn French as soon as possible, that you can communicate with media, with fans, with your teammates, with coaching staff, whatever, very soon you are going back from where you arrived. Then, personal experience, you are coming from one country destroyed by a civil war. You don't want to go back. You want to succeed for yourself, for your family. You have to fight every day. That was back time where there was no internet. Okay? No communication with your family whatsoever, like you are alone somewhere, you have to fight for yourself. Many of these experiences, you realize when you are younger that it's about survival in this beautiful job. So, and that's why sometimes maybe for us coming from different backgrounds, from different educations, it's kind of disappointing and frustrating, because especially in India, how many people, how many boys crying, you want to see emails, like thousands of emails, messages, crying boys saying, please, I want one chance. And these kind of things, when you realize and you arrive on one level, it's about fight and survival. If you don't get your spot in a team, if you don't get one spot in your squad, in your club, and then I think that the first thing that you have to realize is do your job. What's your, like playing football? All of the other things apart doesn't matter. It's your personal life, it's your personal choice, it's, the way you have your personal, it's something else. But there are priorities, in this cruel job, in many occasions worldwide, the clubs, they decide, you know what, we don't need this kind of personality in our team, it's destroying the image of the club. We'll take another player. So these kind of things, when you arrive in one moment fighting for titles, fighting for the prizes, fighting for, again, your spot in one club, as a player you have to realize, because the career, like believe me, it goes like that. One day you are 20, like next day you wake up, you are 32, and you have to think about your next step in life, because when you end up your football career as a professional football player, your life is about to start, because you cannot play anymore, physically, whatever it is, you have to go and do something else. And if you don't sort these things in your head, realizing what just has happened in previous couple of seasons, then you are lost, you are gone. And it's a huge chance in your life, being capable, like being a football player. It's something that you dream about it, you love. Every morning you wake up, you say, I have a chance to play in front of crowd, I have a chance to play in front of my friends, family, people. That's like a dream comes true. Dreams comes true, so you have to fight hard for that. Otherwise, just go like that, and the next day you're not there anymore. And this is how it goes. And that's why maybe my thinking is old-fashioned. I don't know, maybe not, but I think that still in the modern football today, you have first to sort these things, like what's my main job, what's my main task on the pitch, what I have to do. Fighting for my team, fighting for my jersey, fighting for, to get the results, because I want to succeed. If you don't have that kind of motivation, that you're in the wrong place. So,
Coach, the last 3-4 teams in the table now, they don't seem to have any chance of getting to the playoffs. Like even Chennai, they are 10 points behind you in the 8th place. So what do you think about tomorrow's match? What do you expect?
Well, everybody says it's like kind of Southern Derby, It's, of course, you prepare for that, because as a coach also, before as a player, I always like to play these kind of games, because these kind of games makes you better. They make you better as a player, as a person. Now it's completely like different feeling. It's been like, okay, we're together in the same hotel. You know, last night you see all the players from our club in Chennayin, they're eating together. We are sitting together with technical staff. You know, so like being 2 days together before that kind of game, it gives you, I don't know, funny feeling. So maybe tomorrow we'll organize one meeting for all of us before the game. You know, maybe we go by one bus together to the stadium. You know, I don't know. Even next time we can bring in the referees also, prepare everything, and then go together for the game. So, but you know, it's always nice to play these kind of games. And as a player, you must always tend to, you know, fight and dream. I want to play that game. You know, that's something special. So I hope tomorrow that with all the boys, we go there for our fans, we play a nice game, we achieve good results. So and it doesn't matter if somebody is now bottom table, top table, it's the last run of the race. So I hope that everybody will be fully motivated to show, and it's something special. I hope that the boys will prove something back after our loss in Calcutta.
Danish Forky joined the team the last day.
Yeah.
So Danish actually is an aggressive talent. So what's your plan with Danish in your team?
Well, we knew even last year, a long time ago, that we wanted him in our team because we think that he perfectly fits the mentality and character of Kerala Blasters. He can bring something extra, something special. Even at the beginning of the transfer window, we already sealed the deal. We signed him a long time ago. We were waiting just that deal to be fixed with his ex-club. And of course, he's an extra weapon in our midfield. He can play defensive, he can play more offensive with infiltration role. So he has something extra that we'll bring to our team, not only now, but also in next period. We are really happy to have him. He's a great mentality, great human being, great character, with great fighting spirit. So he can bring many different things in possession, in defensive, shape, on set pieces. So he's the player we wanted.
Last two weeks, you have faced some major problems with illness. Kalyushni, Gil, and then some of the players haven't played both the games. So what's the condition now?
Well, it started somewhere before Mumbai game, and there was always like every day waking up and waiting for this medical report and seeing who is this morning with the fever and all this, and then trying to prepare the training sessions. So far this morning, there were some issues with Janu, but it might be all right. It might be all right with him. So we'll see for tomorrow's game. So far everybody else is available, and that's it. So, but we never know. Since many players went through it actually. If we start from the Mumbai game, I think that at least 15 players went through that virus period with fevers, with whatever it is. So now we have yesterday we had the issue with Janu. So today he was better. We'll see for tomorrow.
Any injury concern?
The young player Nihal Sudesh, he was playing for a B team. He had the ankle injury. Lucky nothing's broken, but there's a big swelling. He will. I think this morning he was going to make an MRI and a scanner to see if everything's alright with his ligament. He will not be available for the game. For all the others, Alešković is also joining the training session. So we'll see for tomorrow if it's time or not.
Coach, as we get closer to the playoffs, do you think the games could get uglier? Like players could lose a goal more often as teams get desperate? Like?
Yes, absolutely. Not only we can see it on daily basis. Every game, every evening, you see different games. There are many direct duels now between the teams who are fighting for that spot, and many teams are dropping points. Some of them are winning games, of course. You see many mistakes, many nervous moments during the games, many strange decisions by officials, by referees, many penalties not given. Even I think tomorrow's opponent, Chennayin, in the last game on the result like 2-2 draw, like it was a clear penalty, 100%. So these kind of things, of course, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Even every day you can see some decisions that yellow cards, red cards, penalties, no penalties, and many of these things can decide the runners for the playoffs. So Of course, everybody thinks about that, but from my side, I always think these guys, they're also there to do the job, they're doing the best they can. So we are there to support, to be part of the game, so nothing more than that. We tend to prepare our group of boys for the games, and of course they have to bear themselves when they are on the pitch, so that's football.
Last game, Yanu seemed to struggle a bit. So there is a case to be made about maybe bringing Vidya on. He hasn't had much playing time since coming on loan from Bangalore. What is his situation? Why isn't he getting more playing time?
We wanted, because we knew that Kaluzhny was not available. We wanted to keep Yanu on the pitch because he was giving us that in the previous games important thing between the lines. We were hoping that he can be there with the decisive pass or the decisive moment. I think he had this one good chance when the goalkeeper stopped the ball. But you know, during the game, when you look the game and you think about changings and all these things, you know, this is kind of decisions of the moment, you know, to change something or not. So yeah, it's right about Vidya that he didn't play a lot, so he's a great guy. He deserves a little bit more, so maybe now in the next games he will get some playing time as well.
Coach, just on the last point, you have said in the past that you prioritize efficiency. You want efficiency and then the beautiful things. That's what you said before. So after the last game, you said there will be more squad rotation in the coming games. Why have you come to that conclusion, considering that the team hasn't secured playoff spot yet?
Well, because in one period we were mentioning that in December and January, where actually that was the most important period where you have to be consistent with one group collecting points. And I think that was the moment where we had this, I think, how many games in a row? 8 games without defeat or something like that, collecting those points. And then climbing up the table, which gives us today this situation that we still hope that we can be among the best in the playoffs later. And when you organize that period, you tend to be consistent with one group of players who respond, and you keep them in shape. You know. Now, when you are at the end, when it starts, let's say, on all sides in all teams, like falling apart, suspensions, injuries, something, then you have to be ready to rotate. You have to be ready to change, to give some other players playing time, and this is why. This is why. So because I think that many teams now, they have players on a limit of yellow cards, suspensions. It happens. Many of them, they are not available for next game, and then you have to do it. You have to do it. Even later, when you look the fixtures, even with playoffs, with the Super Cup, when you see that every 3 days, especially later in the Super Cup, every 3 days there are games. There is absolutely no chance that you can play all the Super Cup with one team. So because every 3 days you start the group stage, you have 3 games in 9 days. You have to do it. If you qualify, 3 days later you have to play semis, qualify 3 days later, so 5 games in 15, 17 days, impossible. Because the players, you know, exhaustion and everything, rotation must happen. So especially now, when many players, they're coming to a limit where you also statistically following these programs, everything, seeing that many of them, you know, they're lamps like blinking, you have to react. Otherwise you push them into injuries and they're out, they're done.
Hey coach, Victor Mongil, he's the one of the player, is becoming a most underrated in the squad currently. I think his performance is increasing match by match. So how do you rate him now?
Sorry, who?
Victor Mongil.
Okay.
So he's a most underrated player currently in the squad. So he's increasing his performance match by match. So how do you rate him now?
Victor is an experienced player, well educated from his Spanish background. And he's one of the players, more he is playing, better he becomes. So this was the fact, you know, from the beginning of the season. Our choice was playing with 4 foreigners, of course, because you have to, choosing for Lešković, and we all knew that. And I have never had doubt in Victor. He's a great guy, good player. So now he shows his quality, he responds to the situation, and we are not worried. He's covering that spot without any problem. I'm really happy with his performance, behavior, how he fits in the group. His experience playing in ISL, it's been 4 years. He's in India, so I can say nothing but the best about Victor.
And adding to that, the situations of our fullbacks, especially in right back, we have only Cabra, Savib is injured. So what is the current situations of fullbacks? How do you? There is no rotations. Can't do in right back position as only Kabra is available.
Yeah, but there is Kabra, there is Nishu Kumar who can play both sides. We have some young players who joined our team. So, you know, we were never crying about our situation. So that's the current situation in our squad, in our team. We will use whatever we have. We will make our choice on. Even now already we joined some of our youngsters, preparing them for the upcoming period, for the next season, to adapt to our team. And then some of them, they can also perform there. Sorry, they can also perform there. We wanted to make one more transfer in January, but it failed to medical report. And then we said there is no need to maybe bring in a player who is not available to play. So, you know, sometimes in the market it's not the point to bring someone if you're not happy with it. And like what we were saying the other day, if there are no many options and there is nothing that you like, so then you rather stick to your option that you have in your dressing room, because the boys, they're already adapted, you know. So for the moment, that's what we have. We're going to fight with that.
Coach, it's a crucial game tomorrow and we have like 4 tough games coming up. So even at one point it felt like teams like Bengaluru FC or some others don't have any chance, but now they are picking up, and even our position isn't guaranteed right now. So what are your thoughts on our chances to a playoff qualification?
It's a beautiful league. It's an excellent competition. Seeing that anybody can beat anybody in any venue, home or away. Anything's possible in this league. Again, last year we proved as a club where nobody expected the Kerala after so many years to reach the finals. So anything's possible. I think that every team in this league pick up one momentum where they are good and they have this good run. Some of the teams, they had it in the beginning of the season, some of the teams a little bit later. You face one difficult moment where you have some defeats, you have to wake up, go through it. And Bengaluru is actually the team who is now in a good shape, winning all the games. So, and with the reason and, you know, with the quality, they are where they are now. They started with difficulties, now they're coming back, so anything's possible. Still, there are a couple of clubs fighting for the playoffs. Even we are now sitting on the 3rd spot. We have no guarantee, we have to win and get more points to be secure for the playoffs. So it's a nice league, it's a tough league. You know, you have to compete. I like it. You know, I like that moment. Like you have to go out and fight for your spot. Otherwise, you don't look at the end after 20 games. Whoever is there, they deserve it. Whoever is below, well, what a pity. Better chance next year.
Also in the coach's corner last day, you mentioned about players being demotivated. And similarly, East Bengal coach talked about how potential players are not able to reach to their potential. So what do you think is pulling back these players from reaching to their best?
Let's say the football educational part, where actually you must, like I was just mentioning before, you must understand what is actually the main task of your football player job. You know, it's not having all these things apart, thinking more about, like Coach Konstantin mentioned, thinking more about Instagram or any other things. No, the main thing is like being a football player on the pitch itself, doing your job correctly the way you have to do. What's your task? Making actions 1 against 1, defending actions, defending your striker, scoring goals. So that's the main job. So that's what you have to do, and you have to be motivated every day. When you wake up going for a training session, you must be happy that you have possibility to do that. You know, how many people maybe in our society, in our environment, you know, they're going in the morning, waking up in the morning, going to do something for their families. Maybe that they don't like that, but they have to do it because they need to provide for a life. You know, as a football player, it's a dream job. My opinion. That's my opinion. Maybe somebody else thinks differently. Because you do something that you love, you dream about it, you have chance to. So, and that's why we think maybe Coach Konstantin and myself, maybe with that kind of thinking, old-fashioned, old school, whatever. But that's it. That's the reason. If you want to succeed in a football life, if not, you have no chance, because potential and talent that somebody noticed when you are younger, and they say, this boy, he has a talent, he has potential, he might become a football player on the highest level. And then, in many countries, they talk about winning mentality, positive mindset, character, being capable to socialize in a different dynamic group, okay? Then, if you have that potential to improve and become something, and body language, so then the talent is only like starting position of 5% that gives you possibility to become. If you don't have these other things, you're done. So, and that's why you must be motivated every game, because in a beautiful league like ISL, you have chance to be one of millions who dream about that. So, and that's why, we wanted maybe to express our feeling, our opinion that this is how it is in a world football. Many boys are waiting there, like crying and begging, like, I want one chance, fighting for the chance. So, and then when you arrive, these boys, they must realize, I have something gold. This is like, gold opportunity I can provide for myself, for my family, for the whole life. I must go for it. So, and that's why that part of your character mentality must be taught.
Guys, it's a big step up for you to come from I-League to ISL, and now we have gone almost more than half a season. So, what improvements do you like to make to your own game going forward? And how has it been working with Vukomanovic as a coach?
Yeah, like like if you see the difference between I-League and ISL, like ISL is more competitive compared to I-League. Like I've been in I-League for 2 seasons and this is my first in ISL. Like it's a lot of massive difference. Like the foreigners' quality over here in ISL is way better. And I've watched Kerala play last season. Like I used to follow them. Like when I got to know like they were interested in me, so I used to watch coach's plan accordingly. So like when I came here, he was quite supportive towards me. Like I knew like young players, so it didn't take me much time to get adjusted to his plan. And like now going forward to the season, like whatever game time I get, like I hope I can provide the team with as much as of contribution I can do.
Thank you, coach.